Hello everybody, I'm Corey with the Ugly Bug Fly Shop and Crazy Rainbow Fly Fishing, and today I'm going to tie you part 2 of my 4-part jig series here. We're going to go over the materials just really quick, kind of knock it out, kind of go over the materials and why I like to use them instead of just up on the screen and in text. So first, let's go ahead and start. For the hook, I'm going to use Umpqua's Competition Specialty C400 BL in size 14. I tie these PMD patterns in a size 14 because I like them a little bigger here. And this has a longer shank. I put a split case on this pattern, so I want that longer shank so I can get a good body and a good thorax there. Second, we're going to use Firehole stones. This is a 1/8 inch Firehole stone slotted tungsten bead in Mounds color, which is a brown color. Kind of keep with the PMD theme. Tail. I'm going to use Mallard Flank. This is the big pack from Hareline. It's not like the Select Feathers, but for the tail it's perfect. Love this stuff. This is the gold color, and I like the gold color for my PMD tails. So I tie a lot of these so I get the big pack. You don't necessarily need to get a bajillion Mallard Flank feathers if you're going to only tie a small number of these. Move on to the body. So the body of this, just like the last one that we did for our part 1, is going to be Polish quills, hand stripped, dyed peacock quills. I do have some soaking right next to me. Like I said in the last video, you don't have to soak them. I like to soak them. It's not a brittle factor thing for me when I'm soaking them, because I feel comfortable tying these without breaking them. But they lay out better on the body when you're wrapping them if they've been soaked. So moving on to the wing case, the thorax and all that good jazz. So one of the first things we're going to use here is some razor foam in yellow. It's going to be kind of where the wing case is opening up and that yellow is coming through. And Wapsi Thin Skin, kind of funny, but this is kind of where I'm at. I use it, like I said, I tie a lot of these, so this is where I'm at with my black Wapsi Thin Skin. So this is what you're going to want to use. And then for the legs and the thorax, I actually like to use Senyo's Fusion Dub and Crusty Nail. Just love the red and browns that are in here. Just a little bit of gold in there too. Just looks fantastic on this pattern. Really is buggy once you pluck it out. So that moves me on to another thing, and kind of a tool that you're going to want to use here, some sort of dubbing pick. And I like this one from Hareline. I don't use this end a whole bunch, but this end is amazing. It's stainless steel. This thing's just great. Great little dubbing pick. And today we're going to try something new. I just started using this here the other night. Wanted to kind of showcase it to you guys. Raid Zap. This is their flex. So far I've loved it. So we're gonna go ahead and use some Raid Zap today. So perfect, guys. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and jump into tying this sucker. Alright everybody, and we're back. So now that we've kind of covered the material list, let's go ahead and knock out this PMD here. So as you can see, I've already loaded my hookup with my Firehole slotted tungsten bead. I got my 0.015 lead-free weight on there. And like I said in my last video, kind of the reason that I like that weight on there, that lead-free weight on there, is adds a little bit more weight to this bug. Kind of helps me out from a guide standpoint to be able to dial in weights where I minimize my usage of split shot. So next step we're going to do here is find myself the wood duck feather I want to use for my tail. A little trick here with this wood duck, one of the reasons I use the bulk pack is I don't like to cut them from the side. I actually like to cut them from the top, so you can kind of pull these apart until you can get it the size you want. Like this. There we go. That's pretty good. So you just use the tip, just like that. And cut this off, and you can save that feather, the rest of that, for doing whatever you would like with it. actually is really good to do dubbing loops with it. That new Swiss CDC clamp works really well to be able to grab those and kind of do a cool dubbing loop with that stuff. I'm gonna pull this and kind of get this about right there. I like it. Got a couple of long ones in there. Let's go ahead and just give that a little bit more of a tug. There we go. Like that. Okay. And tie these in there. Let's go ahead and wrap that up. Okay. Give this thread a quick spin. Let's bring this back as far as we can without having those start getting pointed straight downhill. So it's about where I want them there. Perfect. Alright. Next, grab your peacock quill right there. Check that out. So I have been soaking it. Not for very long, but just enough to get it wet. I usually soak them in lukewarm water. I'm going to dry it out with my fingers real quick. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tie just the tip of that thing in there. Just like that. Perfect. Go ahead and tie that in there. Let's go ahead and now you're going to want to build up a nice tapered body here. Okay? And what you're trying to do is have a nice even taper. See that? I caught that thread on that. Whew, saved it. Barely nicked it. But what I'm going to want to do now, got thread fibers everywhere. We're going to want to cut these kind of off here. And we're going to come right back one more time. These hooks are extremely sharp. So you pay that extra money, but tell you what, you get a sharp hook. Go ahead and fill in the lead, and there's our nice tapered body right there. Let me go ahead and cut this. Perfect. Nice evenly tapered. The more evenly tapered, the better this quill is going to lay out. So we're just going to go ahead and lay this on. Now, a tip with this quill, so you don't cut this on the hook. Get it on the hook right there, right before the tip, and slide it off. And take your time. There's no reason to rush this part. Slide it off, roll it around. Nice overlapping. And then we're just going to keep doing that. Slide it off. Do that. Slide it off. And just take your time with the quills. These quills can be pretty finicky, right? Like these guys they're very fragile. These are the best as far as durability goes when you're tying quills that I've found, these Polish quills, and that's why I keep them in stock at the shop. There you go. That worked out perfect. Okay. Go and tie this one up. So go ahead and cut it. Throw a few more wraps in here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and tie in our thin skin. So this is our black Wapsi thin skin right here, okay? So what we gotta do is we need a couple of really thin pieces, and I'll show you as soon as I cut them. Like this is like what I'm talking about there, really thin. Okay, pull that backing off of there, and you want the side you pulled from the backing off of facing up. Okay. And we're going to tie them not on the very top, not on the very side, but on the in between. Okay. Another one here. Okay. No, I don't like that other piece I cut, so I'm gonna cut a new one. Perfect. There we go. That one's way better. Perfect. Okay, same with this side. Good, right on the in-between right there. Perfect. Okay. Next step. You want to cut some foam here, and you want about a 1/16 or a little less than a 1/16. What I'm going to do is cut these tips off, make a point, just like that. And what that does is it allows me to really have something easy to grab onto. Just like that. I'm gonna bring this back, and then we're gonna tie this in. Just kind of force all this yellow down. There we go. Look at that, coming around here. Now grab your Syneos Fusion Crusty Nail Dub. This is synthetic fiber, so it might help some of y'all if you use like a wax to help dub this on there. This stuff's never been a problem for me, and I don't use wax, don't like wax. So I just pinch really hard and spin really hard, and it usually seems to stick. Get that dubbing noodle in there. Go ahead and wrap this dubbing noodle right in there. Perfect. And then what we're going to do, fold this forward, kind of press down on it, flatten it out, and come over the top. A couple of wraps in the front, on top, and a couple of wraps in front. Now, what you're going to want to do now is you're going to take these black thin skin pieces, and you want them to go over the corner of that yellow foam. Trap it just like that. Same with this side. Trap it just like that. Perfect. Do another wrap or two in front. Lock everything in place. Come in here and cut those as close as you can without cutting that yellow foam. Perfect. Now take this yellow foam and cut a tiny little wedging sticking up. Just like that. Now whip finish it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 timer. Cut it. Got a lot of coffee this morning. It's been a long morning. A little shaky. Now, gonna go ahead and get your Raid Zap. I've already pulled some out here. Poured some out. I'm just gonna kind of, oh, must have hit it with the light. I do that sometimes. And pour some out. Grab some here. I just use the end of my whip finisher. Put a nice little layer of this on there. Not only does this, these tend to be pretty brittle, right? These biots. So this really protects them, but also kind of adds a thin layer of body and makes them just a little more realistic, I think. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Hit it with our lightsaber here. This Raid Zap is super tack free and it's super quick to seal up. Perfect. Now, take our steel brush. Brush this out like this. Perfect. Don't get too crazy. This steel is, these stainless steel ones are pretty burly. They'll cut your thread if you get too crazy with it. And it'll also mess up your wing case. Pull some from there. Now I kind of take these and straighten them out. Now don't cut these straight from the side. Cut these like this, just kind of like a barber does. Okay, and it leaves all these tips, these longer tips looking natural. Perfect. And there she is, guys. Your split case Jiggy biot body PMD. Just gonna put a little bit of UV glue up there, seal it up. She's ready to be fished. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. Sure appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully you liked my little pattern there. A great little PMD pattern for all of you out there who love fishing them. Great dropper pattern, super heavy. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. And if you guys need anything, you know how to get a hold of us. Facebook, Ugly Bug Fly Shop Facebook page, website, phone numbers on the end credits, and yeah, we will be back here next week with part 3 of our 4-part jig series, where I'm going to tie my ADHD Hothead Thin Mint. Thanks folks, have a great day, we'll talk to you soon.